The Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. My name's Tim, the BTWN guy, and this is my second attempt at making a video that will be, Lord willing, deemed appropriate for YouTube. I just recorded one where apparently I said some things I shouldn't have. So I am going to report just the news and leave out some of my commentary. The Supreme Court is set to overturn Roe v. Wade. There's a website called Politico. Somehow they got a draft that was written in February. The Supreme Court has voted to overturn abortion rights, draft opinion shows. So apparently, draft opinions are not written until they know how the vote is going to go. Then they start writing drafts. They pass it around, agree, disagree, make some changes. But the first draft, somehow, for some reason, was leaked. This Politico website had got a hold of it. They say the Supreme Court has voted to strike down the landmark Roe v. Wade decision according to the initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito, circulated inside the court and obtained by Politico. The draft opinion is full-throttled, unflinching repudiation of the 1973 decision, which guaranteed federal constitutional protections of abortion rights. Okay, so this is a draft. It is 98 pages. Let's look at a little bit of this. Then we're going to look at an MSNBC report, which by watching how MSNBC responds to this, it can tell us, their response to this is very telling. Then we're going to shed some light on it from a level-headed report out of Fox News. How excited should we be about this? Seemingly very, very excited, but let's look at what everybody has to say here. In this draft, Alito says, we hold that Roe and Casey was another ruling that propped up Roe v. Wade, made it even stronger. So we hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled. The Constitution makes no reference to abortion, and no such right is implicitly protected by any constitutional provision. On page 6, we read Roe's abuse of judicial authority. Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. Its reasoning was exceptionally weak, and the decision has had damaging consequences. And from page 24, the inescapable conclusion is that the right to abortion is not deeply rooted in the nation's history and traditions. On the contrary, and this is important, an unbroken tradition of prohibiting abortion, of pain and criminal punishment persists from the earliest. I am reporting on what has been written without commentary. Oh, YouTube censors. Page 40. Roe was on a collision course with the Constitution from the day it was decided, and Casey perpetuated its errors, and the errors do not concern some crane corner of the law of little importance to the American people. Rather, it's very important. It goes on to say. So we're going to look at this MSNBC. This guy goes online, makes a video, MSNBC, right after this came out. And this woman has an interesting take that I cannot wait to share with you. If you appreciate what I'm doing here, look at the description in this video. The first thing you'll find is a link to support this work that I do on Ko-fi, and please consider making a financial pledge. Much needed, much appreciated. Thank you. So here we go. MSNBC. Their response is epic.
We have huge breaking news tonight, and I can't even believe I'm going to tell you what I'm about to tell you, but in a highly, indeed, as far as I can tell, utterly unprecedented leak from the Supreme Court, Politico has obtained what they say is an initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Alito showing the Supreme Court striking down Roe versus Wade. Quote, Roe was egregiously wrong from the start, Alito writes. We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled, he writes in the document labeled as the opinion of the court. Again, I'm reading from the Politico article. It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. Now, Politico mentions this in a piece. This has never happened before, as far as I know, a draft opinion of the court leaking, A. B, this would be, if true, the most seismic court ruling in 50 years, most likely. Earthquake in the lives of America's women, in our legal culture, in our political culture. Erin Carmon is a senior correspondent at New York Magazine, where she covers gender law and politics, among other topics. She joins me now. Erin, we booked you tonight for a block that was going to be about how it seemed likely Roe was going to be overturned, that it seemed like maybe there was a little failure to price in that reality in the political class, and then this literally crossed 2 minutes before you came on air. What is your reaction?
Chris, I'm gobsmacked for the same reasons that you are, in
Gobsmacked.
the sense that Politico has posted a 98-page opinion. Again, it is a draft. We do not know if it will change between now and when we expect the court to hand down its opinion in June. But nonetheless, it is a detailed, seemingly authenticated draft written by Samuel Alito that would make abortion illegal in at least half the country the day that it goes into effect. What's shocking is that we have it. What's shocking is the impact that it will have on real people's lives. Unfortunately, anybody who listened to the justices deliberate in December is not going to be shocked by this outcome. What does seem still to be up in the air is, what will Chief Justice Roberts do?
And she goes on. We're going to play another response that she has towards the end here. But she goes on to talk about how there's 9 justices. 5 of them would have had to indicate that they're going to vote to overturn Roe v. Wade for anybody to be given the task to write the court's majority opinion. So we have the draft of the court's majority opinion being written. So we know that there are 5 that have indicated they're going to vote to strike down Roe v. Wade. And then she explains that there are 3 that are going to vote against it. They want to keep abortion legal. And then the Chief Justice is undecided. So he could make it either 6-3 or 5-4. And then she explains, all this could change. Usually it doesn't change a whole lot, but sometimes it does. Towards the end of this broadcast, 4.5 minutes into it, I'll link this in the description of this video. But she says this.
That person hopes that they can sway, perhaps.
The person who leaked this, she's saying, is hoping that, maybe some sway could happen and this could be totally changed.
Chief Justice John Roberts to split the difference a little bit. Again, I'm totally speculating, but This extraordinary leak, I think, needs to be read on its own as somebody really trying to draw attention to what the court is about to do to the lives of the American people.
Yes, I mean, that's part of what's so shocking about it, is that it seems like a signal flare, right? I mean, a complete moment of break glass desperation, right? 50 years that has built up to this moment, in which a sustained attack on reproductive rights in this country by the political forces that lost in Roe and then again in Casey, to gut it, to whittle it away, to try to sort of eviscerate it, everything but overturn. That the moment is here. The wolf is at the door, and they are going to overturn Roe.
The sky has fallen.
The sky has fallen. I don't remember if I said it in this take or in the one that YouTube has rejected as inappropriate. But I think I could say this. Remember when Trump was elected. Oh, maybe that's why I got banned. I said Trump. Remember when Trump was elected in 2016? How the liberals and they just were like crying and screaming in the streets as if they were in physical pain. That's going to happen here, I believe. That's going to happen here. Maybe it's happening today, this morning, May 3rd, May 2. I don't know. But I can see people just losing it because of this ruling.
That's the message of this. And again, whoever leaked this, and I have zero insight. I'm just responding in real time to this. Erin, to your point, and again, this is going to drive our news, I think, quite a bit in the aftermath of it. But it doesn't. This is the beginning of something and not the end, in a million different ways. Both, not that this opinion is law. We don't know that, but there's a lot to wrestle with in the aftermath of this, and hopefully you can come back as we wrestle with it.
Yep, hopefully you can come back. All right, so let's shed a little conservative light on it. Fox News, Supreme Court set to overrule Roe v. Wade, leaked draft opinion shows. But the important thing to realize is, should Roe v. Wade be overturned, abortions would be left for the states to decide. That's the bad news. Because we have a lot of liberal, super liberal states, and the states will decide whether they want to allow women to have abortions. And obviously, we as Bible-believing Christians do not want abortions to happen. This is the watered-down version of my thoughts on that. Here's Kevin Cork says, court watchers are particularly incandescent at the alleged leak. Anyway, link to this article and the article by Politico with the 98-page draft in the description of this video. Thank you for watching. If this video is approved by YouTube and you're interested in the one that they didn't like, I'll post it on my website for you. You can see what I said in that one. Hey, God's in control. God's sovereign. God is a good God. He's a just God. He is going to make all things just in the end. Evil will be trampled and paid for. And how about the gospel, huh? We as Christians, we look at people who like to have abortions and think, oh, they're terrible people. But you and I are terrible as well. We sin. We're guilty. We're no better. And if you are not a believer in Jesus Christ, let me exhort you and plead with you to realize that there is a way for you to have peace with God, and that's through the life, death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, the crucified creator of all things, rose again. And we have no righteousness, and we stand guilty before God. It's only through faith in Jesus Christ that we can be forgiven and receives Christ's righteousness, like 2 Corinthians 5, verse 21 says. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Supreme Court seems like it's going to overturn Roe v. Wade. People are going to go cuckoo. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already. Until next video, may God bless each and every one of you. See ya.